Alright, go for it.
Good morning, Spartans. Today we're going to begin a series of interviews with new staff members so we can get to know them a little bit better. We are starting this morning with someone who is not necessarily a new face, but someone who is doing a new job. Our new activities director, Claudia Manuel.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So last year you taught Spanish. How is your new job different, and what do you do now?
So obviously I'm not teaching a world language anymore. I am basically in charge of the USBR United Student Body, class of 2023, and we're just planning events, making sure that SURE is a fun place to be where students can create lots of memories.
That sounds like a lot of work and a really big change. What made you want to do that?
Well, even though I really did love teaching Spanish, after teaching it for 20 years, I kind of felt like I needed a change. So I knew that whatever change I made, I wanted to continue working with students, and being that I do love to plan events and stuff like that, when the opportunity to apply for this job came up, I jumped on it because it's something that I knew I would enjoy, and even though I haven't been doing it for too long so far, I have really been enjoying it a lot.
So we just had Club Rush. What was the purpose of it?
So Club Rush, it basically gives all our organizations on campus, or not all, whoever wanted to participate, it gave them the opportunity to, promote themselves, showcase what they do, and more importantly, it gave students the opportunity to see what all the wonderful organizations that we have here on campus. So, so far, I think it's been very successful. I've heard students, clubs have already had, their informational meetings or first meetings, and so far there's been a big turnout to a lot of these meetings. So I think that's a great thing. I think students should be involved in school as much as they can, besides obviously school, academics.
Right. I've heard rumors that homecoming will be different this year. Can you explain some of those changes?
Yeah, so I would say the biggest change, unfortunately, is that our homecoming game will be on a Thursday. So it's on Thursday, September 29th. Typically our football games, Friday Night Lights, right? So, but this year, unfortunately, our league has kind of come across this issue with not enough refs. And so every school had to change a couple of their games to Thursday. And so it just so happened that the game that we selected as our homecoming game was changed to a Thursday. So I think that's the biggest change. We are still going to have the carnival, although normally for the carnival we have an earlier dismissal. This year we are ending at 2:30, but we're still going to have the carnival up in near the swimming pool. And then another thing that's kind of new, or not new, but something that we're doing that we haven't done in a long time, is Avid is hosting a homecoming dance. So on Friday, September 30th, we will have our first homecoming dance in many, many years. So that's exciting.
All right. Are there any other things that might change a lot this year? New ideas you have for events or activities?
Well, I think as new activities director, I want to do the best job that I can. I want to make sure that clubs, are, following all the proper protocols and, fundraising with purpose. But I think more than anything, I want clubs to be more involved in school. A lot of times clubs, they kind of do their own thing, but I want them to have more involvement in school-wide events. Like for example, Hispanic Awareness Club, maybe they could, do something for Dia de Muertos or Hispanic Heritage Month. The Asian Culture Club could do something for, the Asian and Pacific Islander Month. So just more involvement in school. So not just within their small little, groups, but kind of open up activities for the entire school to enjoy.
Right. Are there any other things that might change along this year? Or new ideas?
I think that's pretty much what, I think it's just having more clubs being more involved in school. I think that would be the biggest thing.
So you've worked at other schools. We always talk about Spartan Pride being so great and wonderful. Are we really that different from other schools?
I would say so. It's just the kids, here, they get so excited, I remember the first time I went to, Mr. Sure High, or even the Avid Talent Show, and just the enthusiasm, the respect that our students showed toward those that were performing, or in contestants on Mr. Sure High, and just the way they are. It's just it is a bit, I do see a lot of pride, more so than in the previous schools that I've worked at. So yeah, it is definitely different here.
What things can students do this year to support Spartan Pride and help maintain our spirit throughout the year?
Well, I think a big thing is just, high school, of course, we're here for academics, but I think that, I would like students to make their time here memorable because it will go by pretty quickly. So being involved in clubs, going to school events, things like that, like I think that shows their pride. And I think also just having pride within their school, right? So like, cleaning up after ourselves. Sometimes I walk around, throughout the campus and I see trash being left, out when like the trash can was not that far, or I hear stories about the restrooms. So I think just having pride is like taking care of what belongs to us and sure belongs to all of us. And so I think that's another thing that, it's another way that students can show their pride for our school.
Right. Is there any other messages you would like to send to students or anything they should know?
Well, I mean, I just want students to get involved, to have fun here at school. Obviously, academics is number one. We do have a, now if you visit our Sure High School website, we do have an activities tab. So if you want to find out about clubs, things like that, you can click on the activities tab on our school website. It'll give you like different information. I try to put like things like the football games, upcoming events, trying to keep that up to date so students know what's going on. Seniors, there will be a senior page or senior section where you can find out the upcoming events for this very important year in your life.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We look forward to working with you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Mm-hmm.